Hey YouTube, this is KP with KP Details. Join me today as I finally replaced the entire swivel assembly on my water reel. This is the EZ-THP 1100. I am pulling out the whip line. It's about 10 or 15 feet, I don't recall. And I have it so that I'm able to pull the entire reel out without having to do any disassembly. So the first part of the disassembly is going to be, this is a swivel connection that I had custom made. Take out this 90-degree fitting. Take off that snap ring and then take off this, I guess maybe it's called another whip line, that's going into the actual swivel assembly, which is the last thing there that I touched. That snap ring does not need to come out at all, so you leave that in. So I'm going to take off the whip line, and you can see that I do have some Teflon tape on there. So everywhere that I had Teflon tape before, I'm going to make sure that I put Teflon tape again because I definitely don't want any leaks, especially since we're on the high pressure side of this. Removing this swivel, sorry this is a little fuzzy, but you do have to hold this smaller part of the swivel in order to be able to take that off. You take off this large outer snap ring. I would actually recommend you take it off after you disassemble this arm because you see what just happened. So take out the screws out of the arm before you take off that snap ring. Therefore, it would just hold it in place and you wouldn't have it fall down like I had it fall down. Live and learn, lesson learned. Hopefully I'll remember it the next time that I have to take care of this. So the next thing that I had to do is remove the little 90-degree line off of the actual swivel. And that is a 9/16 nut that's on there. I tried the 1/2 inch and that didn't work. I have to say, whoever put this thing on from the factory, they maybe it was just machine install, but I think it might have been a person just based on this weird angle. It took both hands and me putting my entire body weight on top of the swivel in order to actually get this loosened. And so I wanted to get this loosened first because I knew that I wouldn't have any leverage if I took the swivel out first. And I learned that from the last time. You see how the hose is bent right now? That's going to become a problem in the future. But as of right now, just remember that for next time. So once this was off, the assembly of actually taking off that entire swivel was very easy. You really, I think, only just need, don't worry about that snap ring because your new swivel actually comes with a snap ring. And really the only reason to take that snap ring off at the back would be if you're changing the O-rings on the inside. Once I realized I was not going to be doing that, I put everything back together, and then now I'm just going to screw off the entire assembly. I did have a sliver of metal that was inside of it, so just be careful when you're doing this that there might be some shavings and whatnot on the inside from initially when everything was placed together. And now it got just a little bit more difficult. Here are the two swivels. The one on the right is the older one, and then the one on the left is the newer one. They look exactly the same. What I discovered was you need to put on the swivel and then tighten this little, for me it's a 1/4 inch line because it's an EZ-THP 1100. So tighten it as much as you can, because remember when I was taking it off, it was extremely tight, and I think you need that level of how tight it is in order to get this line to actually line up the way it needs to. What I ended up doing was I had to take off there's a little screw that was there. So this is the screw that's on the inside. There's another screw on the top, and it holds the line in place, the pressure washer line. Once you loosen that up a little bit, then I was actually able to get that 90-degree bend that they talk about at Coxreels, that's how you want your line to be. Because remember how just horrible it looked. It was all jumbled up, and I think that it would have led to an early failure of the line. Okay, now I thought I was done, turned on the water. As you can see, contemplating life choices, didn't have it connected. Now that everything is actually connected, my whip line, boom, no issue with the pressure washer. And the pressure washer wasn't able to keep its pressure, and so it would just constantly keep priming and priming and priming, and that's when I realized that I had an issue. I would not recommend doing the seal kit, even though it's like $10 for the seal kit, and most places it's $260 for the actual swivel. Save yourself some heartache, because most of the tools that you're using for the swivel, you're using for the seals. So here I am, reinstalled, ready to go. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.